Hi, Jonathan. It's good to see you.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
I was going to say, before we begin, there's a few things I need to go over with you. Everything we discussed today is between you and me. However, as a mandated reporter, there are limits to our confidentiality. So, for example, if you're discussing suicide, harm to others, child abuse, or elder abuse, I must report this. Knowing this, do you still want to go on with the session?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sounds good. What would you like to discuss today?
Well, mostly I've just been kind of feeling a bit anxious. There's a lot going on at work, and with this, the COVID-19 and everybody getting sick.
Right.
Like yesterday was kind of a crazy day. So I work for a law enforcement agency, and sometimes they call us to help and support other agencies. So as people get sick, so like for example, in the jails, people are getting sick. So then you have to maintain a certain level of employees, basically. You need people to run the jail. And so then they kind of call people to cover because these people are sick and everybody switches. So basically, you kind of start the day, but you have no idea what you're going to end up doing. And there's emergencies, of course, and reports and arrest and all that. So I think just with all the stuff going on, I've been feeling anxious, and I kind of didn't want it to kind of get the best of me before, because we don't know when this is going to end. So I just thought maybe I could come see you and, I don't know, get some ideas on how to work through it, or maybe just not feel as anxious. I don't know. Just thought I'd come see someone.
So the uncertainty of it and not knowing how to kind of protect yourself during this time, like kind of that control of during this crazy situation, Do you mind if I take notes?
No, that's okay.
Okay, I'm gonna be looking down at my paper. I want to make sure you know what I was doing. Okay. So do they do like safety precautions, like as far as masks and stuff, to make you feel a little safer?
So it's kind of a yes. So that's where some of it's coming from. So, for example, last week on Friday, the county made it mandatory that you come to work with with mask and protective gear, but they're not providing it.
Oh, I see.
So then they're telling you if you don't have it, you can't come into work. But then we also have to come into work if there's a certain amount of people gone. So they just kind of put us in this weird spot. So a lot of my assignment, I can telecommute, and I can use the work laptop and do my work, and that's fine. But then I might get called in to cover another caseload, so that person can go cover something else, and it kind of trickles in. And then in regards to equipment, we still don't have equipment. So I don't know if you've heard, we had 2 deaths in the jail recently.
I didn't. No.
Yeah. So we had 2 deputies who got it, and they, we've had a bunch of people get it, but 2 of them did pass. And what's unfortunate in those kind of situations is they've had a lot of contact with a lot of staff. So unfortunately, the exposure, it multiplies. So you're in a confined space, so you're most likely getting it
exposed to it.
Yeah, you're exposed to it. And then you may, like I said, we're covering everyone's assignment. So someone who works the jail may take it back to an office setting, and then those 40 people kind of interact. And then they take it to this other assignment where I might be. These 40 people get sick and tested, and then now I'm kind of exposed. And so it's just kind of a guessing game.
Right.
You don't really know. There's a lot of exposures, a lot of people being tested positive. Obviously, it's not as deadly for everybody, but it is happening. So yeah, it's just a lot of unknown, because we don't have the protective gear that we're required to wear, but we're required to be there. So then when you're working, someone coughs in the room and everyone gets nervous. And, it's kind of weird, yeah.
Kind of scary in a way.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Everyone's dealing with this uncertainty and not knowing, but I think how we can help is what we can control, like wearing a mask to cover our face, washing our hands.
Yeah.
You know, do you have hand sanitizer and a place to wash your hands?
Yeah, we do. Luckily, that's one thing we do have a large stock of sanitizers and the little sprayers they have the stand in the hallway.
Right.
So we have tons of, we're able to wash our hands a lot. Yeah.
Which is good. And then your hands get raw.
And your hands get raw, and then you put the lotion. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you work with, clients also, or with, another person in the car with you, or are you in the jails?
It's kind of a mixture. So my current assignment is I work with at-risk juveniles.
Oh, okay.
And I work with a team, and so sometimes we're in the car together, sometimes we're not.
Like transporting them?
Transporting and doing home visits, that sort of deal. With all this going on, some of those standards have kind of been put on hold. So I'm not seeing as many clients, just staff mostly, and phone stuff, but I'm seeing staff, and that's been okay. We are kind of, in some ways we're behind, in some ways we're ahead. So we were behind in our response. We were supposed to start telecommuting like 2 weeks ago, but they took so long to get it started. We're just now doing it. But it does look like we kind of got ahead of some of it. But with that said, two of my seniors, well, I only have two seniors, but the two of my seniors, they both look like they got it, even though they're on quarantine.
Oh, no.
And they're higher risk
Okay.
because of their age and some health factors. But it's just been crazy. I mean, you just don't know. One day I'm typing reports, and then the next day I'm being called into an office. And then we work with other agencies a lot. So, like I said, we work with the jail in the sheriff's department, and then we work with nurses. So we do have our own nurses, and like one of ours, she went to test, and good for her. She went to volunteer to test for the COVID-19, but then when they get a positive, they all have to get tested. And so
just because of the exposure.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then she could have brought it to our office, and then I sit next to her. So then, you don't want to judge them, but
no,
I don't want to get it.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. And take it back to your family, or
yeah.
It's very understandable to have those feelings. It seems that it's scary.
Yeah.
But other than that, how are you coping at home? Like when you start to get too stressed about it or start thinking about it too much, what seems to be helping you?
Well, initially I think I kind of did what a lot of people did. At first I don't think I took it that seriously. And then as we saw it coming down, or like taking it a little more seriously, honestly, I think kind of the mixture of stuff is I've got to a point where I kind of limit the news intake, because I feel like right, wrong, or indifferent, I feel like there's maybe, I don't want to say too much information. There's too much not clear information.
Right.
So they're not telling us, they don't know anything. They're just, today's the highest death count. And I mean, every day as more deaths increase, every day is another high number. So I try to restrict that, and that has helped. And then, honestly, I've been trying to focus a lot on when I get home, to let home be home time. So I try to let work go. It is hard because, we're also in quarantine at home. So everyone's off, it's always there. But yeah, mostly I think I just step away from, the news. I step away from feed. I try to let home be like a sanctuary. I try to monitor, like if I do feel like I'm thinking about it too much, I try to either think about, worst case, best case scenario, kind of like reason it out, and then, or to just not to distract myself, but focus on what's important, right? Like we're making dinner, we're doing school.
Be more present.
Yeah, be more present. That's a good way to say it. Yeah. And that's helped.
And that's awesome. Those are great tools. So you just don't go through that downward spiral of like, what if, or that irrational thinking. I mean, things that haven't happened and you don't even know if they will happen. I mean, why put so much energy and time into that? Just as, like you say, be present, be with your family. That's
Yeah.
really good. It seems like you have some really good tools to help you through this. I mean, this uncertain time,
Yeah.
that everybody's in. But, and then like you say, how we watch the news, it can be so overwhelming. And as you say, like nothing's really changed. It seems like it's always a bad
Right.
week. This is the
Right.
worst week,
Yeah. They tell us all the time, almost daily. They give us these new email updates
Mm-hmm.
since March, and here we are in April. And honestly, I can't say any of the emails have been different than the first email. People are getting sick. Wash your hands. Keep some space. Nothing's really changed. We've had a few people get sick, which was expected, and now they're telling us to wear stuff. But they kind of told us it at the beginning. So yeah,
Right.
it's too much new information when nothing's been new.
Right. It's the same thing every day. It's like, why expose yourself to the stress and the worry of something that stays the same?
Yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, so that could be challenging to listen to the news all the time. It could add that extra stress.
Yeah. And even doing the telecommuting, that's been a different experience too, because now we have to, kind of like we saw, like sometimes your home life gets invited into your professional life. It's a different experience. Got to be careful.
Right.
Yeah.
So other than the coping strategies, is there anything else you wanted to talk about during this session?
No, I kind of think that's mostly what I was hoping to get out of today. I mean, I know we can't really fix these problems. I mean, you and I can't fix the COVID-19,
Right.
So I know it is what it is, but coping techniques or just something else to help, because I think I'm doing okay now, but
Yeah.
obviously this could go for 2 more months, and I just kind of want to get ahead and get some strategy.
Yeah, it seems like you're doing awesome, though. How you say restricting the news. When you go home, it's your home time. You kind of block out all the rest of the negative stuff. And then it seems like you're really making sure to be present in the moment and what you're doing. So those are amazing tools that you're already implementing, to keep yourself from becoming too full of anxiety.
Yeah.
But
That,
you're doing awesome. But so our time is almost up,
Okay.
and I know we've covered a lot in this little time that we've spent together. But I just want to commend you for finding the strength to reach out during this time. I know talking to somebody or venting is hard, and it takes a lot of strength and courage to reach out. So these are excellent goals that you have, and it's been wonderful meeting you, and I look forward to our next session.